Hello everybody, and welcome to this week's energy update with me, Rebecca.meisl, tuning into your guides and channeling whatever guidance is necessary for the week ahead, as well as tuning into the week's energetics and themes. So this week we have a beautiful reading as always. Really loving what's channeled through, and I'm excited to share it with you. First off, I do want to start off just by letting you guys know and apologize for missing last week's energy update. My schedule always gets really busy and shifts and changes in the summer months. So I do apologize with work scheduling and all of that. It has been really difficult for me to set aside the same amount of time as I normally have. So bear with me as I make these adjustments and shifts and changes. And I'm trying my best to maintain my routine. But I am sorry for missing last week. But nevertheless, I'm here this week, so let's dive in. So this week we have a huge theme around healing any sort of rejection. And we start off really strong here with releasing self-doubt. So what channeled was organizing and re-abiding by your own rules for life. If there was no such thing as fate, what would you do? Rid yourself of the shoulds and the shouldn'ts. It's time to write your own story based on love. Let love guide your way and watch the infinite blessings. When you are in a state of love, there is no lack. Lack cannot exist. So this was really amazing, this first little bit that channeled through and really is telling. So a lot of us might be struggling when it comes to our dreams and really taking action. So what I was really kind of feeling was this procrastination energy or this hindering energy, and they really made me feel this tightness in the throat chakra where it's like, where are we hindering and taking action in our dreams, and what really brings us fulfillment, because we are doubting ourselves, because we are unsure if we're really capable. And they're really showing that this rejection wound is really prevalent, that has really rise to the surface. So as we step into this very new Aquarian age, we're really being called out on where we've not been resolute in our personal truths and authenticity, and what might be hindering those forms of self-expression in our lives. So what was really coming through was releasing judgments and releasing these belief systems that a lot of us have almost had carved in stone. You know what I'm saying with this? And we're needing to really clean the slate and let ourselves create a life that nurtures us, that allows us to be who we are, express ourselves without any sort of hindrance and doubt that we will not be accepted. So what was really coming through here is allowing yourself to play in the realm of possibility. So that's why these thought-provoking questions were coming through, and I highly encourage each of you to journal this out this week. You know, if there were no such things as fate or pressure or, you know, societal standards, what would I do? What would I do without feeling the shoulds and the shouldn'ts? And so when I say that, a lot of us have this pressure of, well, I should be doing this. I should do that, or I'm supposed to be doing this, and that is what is, you know, on path. And they're really showing me the mind dictating our dreams as opposed to the heart. And when we go to the heart and we drop into the true essence of our hearts, we realize that none of those judgments and constraints really exist. They're really just beautiful, or sorry, not beautiful, but these made up restrictions that we have learned to abide by. And they're really not true. So they're really showing us this removal of the veil this week, where we are getting really honest and going, okay, where have I still been a slave to my own mind? Or where have I still been enslaved by the judgments of others, or things that I'm afraid of being judged for? And how can I blow all of that out and let that go so I can be free? So what would you do if there were no shoulds and shouldn'ts? What would you do if there was no such thing as fate? And I found this really interesting with the fate part, because when we really go into the spirituality aspect of ourselves, there's a lot that talks about, your destiny. You're supposed to be doing this. This is what's in alignment for you. And sometimes we can have these really strong pressures that we put on ourselves because this thing is supposed to define our path, or this thing that we've attached to is our purpose. But what I'm really hearing is to free yourself from any attachment to those specifics. Let yourself play in the realms of possibility and let your soul lead the way. So if your soul is tugging you in a different direction from what you initially thought was your path, can you allow that to happen? Can you be brave enough to let go of the preconceived path that you believed you needed to be on, that you needed to attach to, and you needed to fulfill this mission, this path, this destiny? And can you just listen to your soul? Can you let yourself release that attachment of what things need to look like, what things should look like, and let your soul, which is one and the same, guide your way? And I love this because they were really saying it's time to write our own story and write it in love. So what is most loving for you? And when we act in accordance with that, infinite blessings drop in. And I love how this really came through, that love and lack cannot exist in the same space. When you are in a space of love, when you are in a space of gratitude and fulfilling your soul needs, you don't feel lack. You don't feel like anything is amiss. You are high, you are elated, you are in this space of complete, profound love. So isn't that what we're all wanting to attain? And they're just showing the heart being empty, and we're trying to fill it with these physical things, with these illusions that people have put in place for our lives. So when I have the perfect relationship, when I have this next new gadget or next new thing, or when I have the career or the money, then I will be fulfilled. But they're really saying, no, strip all of that away and allow yourself to come back to your base. What is your heart? Your heart is love. What will nourish the heart? Love. So how can we start filling that love cup, right? So I love this very much because as we move from here, we have this really strong essence of self-respect that's going to start coming in this week, where we are going to start respecting ourselves and respecting our needs and regarding ourselves much higher than perhaps we have ever before. So we have this really big theme of releasing self-doubt, releasing the lack mentality and this procrastination energy when it comes to our dreams. And because we're going to be bolstering our self-worth and respect of who we are and who we have become. So let's go into this. So we have regard yourself highly. Believe in yourself. Now is the time to be free of the fear of rejection. What would life be like if you rid yourself of such a fear? What would you do? What would you be capable of? So let's pause there. What was really coming through here was this amazing awareness of how fear of other people and their perceptions of us is hindering our forward movement and our freedom. So we have this huge illumination to what is in the way of you being free. What is in the way of you fully loving yourself and being in your authenticity without shame, without guilt, without needing to hide or retract or be small. And they're really showing me the external world might be mirroring a lot of these things to you. So they're actually giving me this example that just popped in here is where we might have a small audience. And what I mean by that is maybe we've been trying to bolster our presence online. Maybe we've been trying to cultivate new friendships, new groups. They're just showing me like people and getting the attention and validation and what we've been needing, okay, to create this presence that matters. They're showing me like a stronghold where it's like, here I am, look here, this is what I'm doing, these are my services, these are my offerings, whatever that might be. Maybe you're struggling with that, and they're kind of tying this in here, like what if that is actually a reflection of your own inner reality, where it's almost like, I'm afraid, so I'm going to stay small. So where is that imprinted in your vibration? Where are you struggling to form friendships and connections and the audience that you are looking for, the audience that is supportive of you? Okay, so they're really going into this like, what are the relationships that you attract? Are they loving? Are they supportive? What is that validation? What is that you are getting from these friendships, from this audience, right? Now, apply that to yourself. Do you support you? Do you believe in you? Do you believe in what you are offering? Or are we still stuck in this loop of staying small, of staying safe, of not being willing to put yourself fully out there because of this fear of rejection, because of this low self-worth or self-doubt, okay? They want to show us how this trickles into our realities and becomes a manifestation. So really be aware of that. What is my external mirroring to me? And what if I blew that belief wide open and went, hey, you know what? This would change my life if I didn't have this belief. So play in that. What would your life look like if you had no fear of being rejected? If you had no fear of not being enough? If you were no longer in a state of lack, but a state of complete love and respect for yourself and admiration for yourself, okay? Could you imagine that reality? Could you absolutely fill those shoes and really experience it? So they really want us to do that this week. Visualize, do some meditation, do things that put you in the highest version of yourself where you feel all of those emotions of self-love, of self-worth, and this amazing independence that comes with that. So next, what came through was, see, all happens in perfect time. Do not wait. Seize the moment. Breathe deep and drink in the sunshine. Let your spirit soar and sing, for joy it will bring. Okay? And I have to say, this amazing channeling came through very musical, very sing-songy, very poetic. So this actually repeated twice. Let your spirit and soar sing, for joy it will bring, for joy it will bring. Allow this chapter to close. The one where you don't believe in yourself, the one where you believe you are alone, the one where your needs and desires do not matter. Claim the gift. You can now give it to yourself. For when you're gone, what will it matter? What do you wish to leave behind for the offspring of earth? What mark would you leave upon it, scratched deep in the surface? How would you lead your life, fearless and free? It's time to be unapologetically you. Feel deeply without remorse. Claim your passion without disdain. Claim abundance and make it rain. This is the time of the artist and the visionary. This is the time of the rebel. Sing your song. You've been a slave for too long. Break free, break free. This is your opportunity. See what I mean? Poetic. So with this, so much channeled in this amazing artistic way. So I'm really feeling like these messages might really be applied to those of you who identify as an artist, as a writer, as a visionary, whatever that is that calls to you. But what I was really hearing is a lot of us are needing to really open up to those artistic forms of expression and allowing ourselves to step into the light. So they are showing me a spotlight and this person, this individual right before it, and they haven't stepped into it yet. They're looking at it, they see it, perhaps they're desiring it, perhaps they're wanting it. But now it is time to take those steps. It's time to take the action and claim this gift for yourself. So they really are reinforcing, like, what have you got to lose? Go for your dreams. Release the self-doubt. Ignite your passion. Be who you are without fear of judgment. And a lot of times the artist and the writer, these people that have this amazing way of expressing themselves, they go to those depths. And what was really coming through is some of us might actually feel scared to do that or judged because we might be needing to be vulnerable. We might be sharing parts of ourselves that perhaps make us uncomfortable. Maybe we fear what others are going to think of our work or this literal piece of yourself that you will be putting out into the world. And they're really showing me the emotions here. So maybe you are someone you feel incredibly deeply. Maybe you are incredibly emotional. Perhaps you go to those depths that most people don't even touch or scratch the surface. But what they were really bringing forward is like, what have you got to lose? Be yourself. Showcase who you are. Step into that spotlight, because you have no idea how that is going to impact others. And you have no idea how that's going to impact the world. And what I keep hearing, it's like, make your mark, right? Make your mark here on earth. Allow yourself to take this chance and be unapologetic about who you are. And some of you have a strong message that you want to say. You know, I really get that with this is the time of the rebel, okay? This is the time of the visionary. How can you tap in and channel that essence? How can you become really enmeshed with your message, with what you want to share with this world? You need to claim that and you need to express that. And I'm really getting the throat chakra this week. It really wants to be heard. So where do you need to sing your song? Okay? So I love this. This is our opportunity to break free from the shackles. This is our time to express who we really are, what we think, how we feel, what resonates with us as an individual, and to be unapologetic about it. Okay? So next from here, we have valuing your self-worth, picking up the pieces of your broken heart to make it whole again. Breathing life into the weary and tired soul. Breathe deeply. Drink the wine and essence of love every day. You don't have to pay For life and love is freely given. Where has love become transactional? With yourself, with others. Release yourself from this burden. Boundaries are necessary. Practice receiving and give love free to yourself. What fills the cup of the heart? What is something that is just for you? The heart is the roadmap to your peace. The heart is the birthplace of abundance. So then they were really going into these examples of where we can truly start filling our heart with the love that we require. So they were giving me these examples of when we slow down, when we are present with ourselves and with our bodies. And they were really showing me the importance of getting out of our heads and the busyness that tends to live in that space and coming back to the body. So this week there's going to be a very large emphasis on physical movement and loving movements. So yoga, Pilates, meditation, like things that help you become present in the body rather than the mind. And what was really cool is as we connect with the physical, we also have this theme of the physical body and the physical health. And tuning into that, as we live more in the body and less in the head, we become more aware of our physical needs. So think about that this week. What is my body physically needing? What is my soul needing? What is my heart needing? And how can I meet those needs every single day? So with this big theme of the heart, we need to practice boundaries, and that is going to look like preserving your peace. That is going to be looking like taking time for yourself to ensure that you are participating in self-care and self-love. That is going to look like practicing receiving from others and not over giving of yourself. There's been a very large highlight around that tendency where we are at our wits' end, or we are in burnout, or we are overextending ourselves. And for us light workers, that is a slippery slope. So what I'm hearing is this week you need to maintain your physical and energetic health. What can you do to make sure that you are truly keeping topped up, okay? And think of this in terms of the heart. When you overgive, you are literally giving of that heart energy. A lot of us are giving from that love energy space. And for some of us, we're going to have boundaries. Where do I need to now turn that love that I give so much to others and turn that and give that towards myself, right? So they're really showing me the importance of balance. Giving and receiving needs to be in balance. So where are you out of balance in this? It's time to find the equilibrium. So from there, we have the heart carving the forward path. And this really came through in last energy update, that last reading. We need to allow the heart to pave the way, to show us where to go next, to create this new beautiful world for ourselves. And a lot of times we get this misconception that we create from the mind or the sacral chakra. And yes, there are elements to that. But what has really been coming through is where our real creation comes is from the heart space. The heart is the birthplace of abundance. And that makes so much sense because when we think of the heart, it's that giving and receiving. So where are we in that receiving part? Are we receptive? Are we open? right? And when we think about it, living a love-based life means meeting your needs, means having things, having abundance in your life. It means having joy, right? So what came through here was make a plan for your joy. So this brings us into our next theme of creating more abundance in your life. A lot of us have been trying to focus on this and create this. So really tune into that energy this week. How can I create more abundance in my life? So what came through? Health equals wealth. Gratitude, real gratitude brings fulfillment, passion, and joy. So with these themes here, where are we in those areas? Where is your health? If you don't have your health, that's really hard to enjoy your life. Everything becomes difficult. Everything has this shadow upon it. So where do we need the wealth of health? Okay, where are we in that spectrum? Where are we in our gratitude? Are we grateful? And I mean, are we really grateful for the life we have? It's time to tune into the emotion of gratitude and connect with it rather than through the mind, but the heart. So take yourself back to the last time you felt true, profound gratitude. What is something that made your heart burst with thankfulness? Remind yourself of that feeling and connect yourself to it. Find ways to connect to the energies of gratitude every single day. This is what will feed the heart and feed the soul. Next is the passion and joy. Where are you with your passion? Where are you with your joy? Are you passionate about your life? Are you joyful for your life? If not, make a plan. Okay? So they're really saying, create an action plan. This is the time for forward movement. Okay? We're getting into the summer months, which means more energy, more sunshine, more forward movement. Things are growing. Things are birthing at this time. So we need to take action. We are moving into this forward movement energy. So make a plan. If you're not happy, then what will do that? What will make you happy? Make the shift, okay? No more excuses. It's time to let go. So this moves into this next theme of surrendering heaviness to God. Give it to God, okay? Practice release of sorrow and the release of world events. See that you are not outside of God's care. And then they were showing me the heart like this cup, and it's pouring out grief. So we need to pour out any grief, any residual hurt from the heart over the suffering we've endured and the suffering of the world. So they're really showing me how a lot of us are distressed. A lot of us are worried. A lot of us are feeling so much sorrow. And it's really easy for us to get wrapped up in that shadow. But what I just keep hearing is we need to release this so we can heal the heart to promote love. Okay, so these are the emotions we may experience this week. We might feel sadness. We might feel grief. Okay, these are the emotions that are stored in the heart. So we really have a huge theme of heart healing this week with our self-worth, with self-doubt, with grief. It's all to do with the heart chakra. So really be aware of that. What is my heart saying? What is my heart feeling? Pay attention, okay? But what kept coming through was give it to God. Any of your worries, any of your sorrows, any of this need to save, Okay, so what came through was release the savior complex. You are not responsible for this world. That is God's domain. Where have you taken such burdens upon yourself? You are here to be love. Focus on love and let this be. Pray for the answers to comfort your heart and to become free. So this was very interesting because I kept trying to get deeper with this. I kept trying to ask more, but they were not giving it to me. So that tells me that this will be very personal to us as individuals. So take what resonates here. But a lot of us are distressed over events. A lot of us are feeling heavy in the heart. So be mindful of that. As light workers, that's going to hit us very hard. When we see sadness, when we see darkness, when we see the hurt, it's our nature. We want to fix, we want to help, we want to heal. But there's certain things that we will not be able to fix. There are certain things that we will have to just let be. And they're showing me that it is very hard for some of us, especially when we've trained or we have become informed or we have the knowledge to help. Sometimes there are people and situations and events that we cannot help, that we cannot heal. And that is where we have to realize we are trying to venture into God's domain. We are trying to shoulder burdens that are not meant for our shoulders. And they're really wanting to bring this out that you are not responsible. And sometimes that is hard for us to accept. Sometimes that is hard for us to realize and to digest. And they're really bringing this awareness of how we are now needing to lighten our load and realize that where we focus is where that energy is going to go. So if we continue to focus on a hopeless situation, event, or individual who will not be helped or cannot be helped by us, or things that we cannot change, we just keep feeding the frustration and we just keep feeding the sadness and the shadow. So they really want to encourage us, grieve that you can't fix it. Grieve that you can't heal the world. Grieve that you cannot make everything right. Let yourself pour those tears from your eyes and release that burden from yourself. And give it to God. Pray your little heart out this week. If there are things that are burdening you, that you are concerned about, that you are sad about, pray about them. Let the universe be your support. Let God be your support. Lean on those higher forces that can help you. And ask your questions. Seek out the answers that can console you. Because there are answers to be found to every question. But the biggest thing that we need to remember is we are here not to fix, but to be. And what are we to be? Our authentic selves. And what is our authentic self? Love. So don't forget that your purpose isn't something you do, it is something you are. It is something you embody. You are here to be love on this earth. So keep your focus there. Remember, that is what matters. That is what is important. Be in your light. Be in your love. And this is going to free us. So what really came through is this awareness of where our heart is not free. And they're just showing me like clouds and fog. It's like trying to get clear, trying to wade through this mist and cloud. So what are those things? We keep trying to get through it, but they're like, you need to see it first. What are the clouds? What is the fog? What are the distractions? What are the things that are clouding your judgment, that are clouding this beautiful, clear view of your life, of this bigger picture? Get clarity around that this week, and it will come through. So free yourself. Where is your heart not free? Where are you not free to be you? Free to take the actions you need to cultivate your own desires? What are the illusions that still take hold? One of the biggest ones that a lot of us deal with and is going to come through this week very strongly is the fear of the future. Okay, this is a big theme. The future is not set. Things can change at any moment. Choose your reality. Choose to witness. What life will you choose for yourself? What will you create? What is in your power to change? Do it. Do it now. No more victimhood. It is time to rise. So rise, light worker, rise. Share your authentic truth. The world is listening. God is listening. What is it you wish to say? You are free. What an amazing way to end this reading for this week. And I must say, a lot of us are going to be stepping into our true empowerment. And this is exciting. This is a very exciting time to be alive. This is a very exciting time to embrace, not fear, and recognize that the minute fear steps in, that is your teacher. The minute you are triggered, it is that alarm bell that is going off to show you where you need healing. So don't let the fear of the future deter you from becoming your best self now, from taking the actions that you need to take to live your best life. Don't let fear of what could happen shape your decisions now. Let your heart show you the way. Let love show you the way. Because when we act in love, there is no regrets. Think about that. Every action you've ever taken, any decision you've ever made out of love for yourself and self-respect, how did you feel? You felt amazing. You felt empowered. You felt like your own best friend. Do you have any regrets? So friends, how can we embody that essence, that energy in our lives right now? Don't let fear of the future sway you. Allow yourself to take control. And what I love about this is there's really this awareness coming through that the future is not set. So that means we get to choose what that future is going to be based on our decisions and energies and how we decide to utilize them now. So we are at a very pivotal point. We are now choosing and shaping our realities by what we partake in, by where we focus, by how we address our bodies, our health, our heart, our soul. So what decisions do you want to make? How can you make aligned decisions and stop waiting? This was so big. There's a huge energy of wanting to wait, hesitate, procrastinate. Why? Really get to that. Why am I procrastinating my dreams? Why am I procrastinating these actions that I know I need to take? What is making me feel like I'm held back? Because whatever that is, it's an illusion. It's a fear. And you are stronger than your fear. So get imaginative. What is beyond your fear? What would life look like? See past it. See it, acknowledge it, and move beyond. Get rid of the distractions. Get rid of the mindsets. Get rid of the influences that say you're not capable. It's time to rise. It's time to share what you need to share. It's time to speak. It's time to express. How can you love yourself so much that you allow yourself to have a unique and powerful voice in this world? So, Lightworker, what are you here to say? So, Lightworker, how do you want to share your light? So, Lightworker, how do you want to share that big, beautiful heart? You're here to be shared. You're here to be seen. So take that step. And I promise you, you will never regret it. So my friends, that's all I have for this week's update. I really hope something touched your heart, that something jumped out for you. And if it did, let me know what that was below. Sending you so much love, my friends. Keep up this amazing work. We are in an amazing time to be alive. Much love. Bye.